Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition. I know it's been a minute, but welcome back to another edition of Our Voice 360, our perspectives, our ways. I'm one half of the duo here, Chad Bumgarner. I have with me my right hand man, Pete Hunt.
As always, our podcast is brought to you by CDB Consulting. Great leadership equals great results. How are you leading?
And folks, ladies and gentlemen, if there's something you want to hear, or a specific topic you want to hear us discuss or debate, if you want to write in or call us or whatever and let us know what we can do to make it better for you guys, please do not hesitate to contact us at ourvoice360 at gmail.com. That's ourvoice360 at gmail.com. All right, today we're talking about the latest news on the Breonna Taylor issue, case that is. It looks like some cops were doing some things they weren't supposed to be doing and got caught on
hmm
it. So it looks like they're going to be reinvestigating the entire situation, which is a good thing. It should have never been dropped to begin with.
Right.
But it's good that light is being shown on or shined on wrongdoing, and we're hoping and praying for the best and for a proper and complete outcome, uh,
hmm
a plus, if you will, for Miss Breonna Taylor and her family. And then also we're gonna touch on 45. He's back at it again. The feds raided his Mar-a-Lago club, and looks like they found some pretty damning evidence. Of course, they can't specifically say what it is because it's classified information, but we're gonna get into that and talk more about that situation too. So, all right, Pete. Well, we got two heaters here today, so let's jump
hmm
into the Breonna Taylor situation. So,
hmm
as always, Pete, I need you to keep me honest, keep me straight. So it looks
hmm
like a while back they pretty much closed the case on the Breonna
Yeah.
Taylor.
hmm
She was basically wrongly just well, I can't even put that together. That's not correct. But she wasn't taken care of. The
hmm
due diligence was not served on her behalf.
Yeah.
You
The
understand what I mean?
hmm
So now evidence has come to light, and then that was put to rest. So now evidence has come to light recently that the warrant that the police were using or that they used did not have current information or the right information, and they were aware of this, and they used it anyway to
hmm
go ahead and embark upon, you know, uh, her apartment, if you will. Now, is
hmm
that it for the most part?
Yeah. So basically, for the most part, that's right. They basically falsified the information on the search warrant to begin with.
Okay.
The officers themselves. Let me name the officers: Brett Hankerson, Kyle Meany, Joshua James, and Kelly Goodlett. Those are the four officers that are being federally charged by the Department of Justice for basically civil rights crimes against Breonna Taylor and the falsification of a search warrant, which should have been taken care of by the Attorney General in Louisville. I mean, Attorney General of Kentucky, excuse me, Daniel Cameron, black man. We must mention that he
Hmm.
basically was like, the cops did no wrong, and and basically swept it under the rug as the cops was in their rights to do the things that they done, murder Breonna Taylor, basically. And and if you remember, the only charges that that really stuck to them were, they shot into the adjacent apartment, and of course that was a white family, and the wife was pregnant,
Right. And that's
and
what the charge was for.
that was the charges for them shooting blindly or wildly or whatever the case may be into the apartment next door. So the DOJ filed, federal civil rights charges against these four officers, and like I said, with the things that are coming out, that the Kelly Goodlett and the Joshua James officer, those two officers basically, you know, falsified information for the search warrant, got together in a garage and was like, yeah, we're going to do this Y, and Z, knowing that the things that they said to get the search warrant was a lie. Basically saying that Breonna Taylor's boyfriend he was receiving packages, drug packages, at Breonna Taylor's home, which was not true at all.
Mm-hmm.
So that gave them, and once the judge signed off on the warrant, the no knock warrant, they kick the door in. They're in plain clothes. Boyfriend shoots. They start shooting back at him, and then the rest.
Now,
And,
to be clear, I'm sorry, Pete. I just want to remind everybody there's some people that
mm-hmm,
may be kind of hazy. Breonna Taylor, that's the case a couple years back where they raided her home while she was asleep.
mm-hmm,
She was shot and killed in her sleep.
mm-hmm,
And they were not charged for killing this woman in her sleep. So I just want to make that clear. This is the origin of the whole
mm-hmm,
case, if you part of the origin of the whole case, if you will. But
mm-hmm.
to what you're saying with the no knock, I was just looking at an article and it was just stating Breonna Taylor facts. It says, here's what Cameron is the DA, correct? No,
No,
excuse me, Attorney General. Attorney General for
of
Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Attorney General for Kentucky.
Uh,
Daniel Cameron, a brother.
mm-hmm.
All right. Here's what he said in the press conference. The officers were, and I quote, advised by superiors to knock and announce their presence when serving the search warrant, end quote. He said the officers both knocked and announced their presence at the apartment. And he said that was corroborated by an independent witness who was near in proximity. But it was a no-knock warrant.
Right. Mm-hmm.
In other words, the warrant was not served as a no-knock warrant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, Daniel Cameron, who
but now he comes around at the end and says that the police did everything right. I remember that press conference. There was no need to
charge them. Yeah.
Charge them because they did everything right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So mind you, this is the same brother, black guy.
Yeah,
that's married to Mitch McConnell's niece. If that gives you any kind of perspective of who we're dealing with in Daniel Cameron, and if you don't know, and if you further want to, please Google him and see what he's about. But yeah, Daniel Cameron was basically, we're gonna sweep this under the rug. Nothing was done wrong, this, that, and the third. But of course, once the DOJ got involved, it was going to be really, they were going to flesh out what really happened. And now we're finding out the things that, and the what's the word I want to use? The outright lies that the police officers went to do this. And it's just, it's unbelievable that. And then you wonder why our people don't trust the police because of situations just like this.
Yep.
This is why. So I mean, okay, go ahead, Chad.
No, I was about to say now. Other news is, did you hear that? It is not true that Breonna Taylor was in her sleep when she was shot and killed. She was in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And she was shot as officers returned fire.
Mm-hmm.
Because, of course, her boyfriend was returning fire to them.
Because
of course, he thought they was breaking in. They was
exactly. Mm-hmm.
So is that something that you heard? Because that's something that I was reading as well.
Okay, that's the first I've heard of that. As far as
they said she was asleep at first.
Right.
But when the shots were breaking off, she was up and she was in the hallway with her boyfriend because he was returning fire.
Right.
And that's news to me too.
Yeah.
That is news to me too.
So, but yeah,
the bottom line is the bottom line is they served the warrant with incorrect information.
Yeah, falsified, and they meant to
they falsified.
Yeah, and they meant to falsify it. I mean, they went out of their way to lie on it to get this search warrant, and they lied to get it. And that's the most disturbing thing is why would you go out?
They went through that
way?
Because of the dude, Breonna Taylor's boyfriend. They were that hell bent, and this is my speculation. They were that hell bent on trying to get this guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? To where is their power and their ego,
right?
just they just became drunk with that, and
Mm-hmm.
they were just really bent on getting this dude instead of doing it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And now, the first time this went through, Attorney General really, gave them a way out. Like you said,
Mm-hmm.
he swept it up on the rug. He even did his press
Right.
conference, did the song and dance.
Mm-hmm.
We, reviewed the case, da 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 da, and we saw
Mm-hmm.
no reason to charge the officers. They did what they were supposed to do. They had no wrongdoing. Bam, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Case closed.
Yeah, and so now the Kelly Goodlett, she now they're saying that she's going to plead guilty and basically, tell on her fellow officers. Basically, that's what
For a
she's
lighter
she's
sentence.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, for a lighter sentence. And
of course.
yeah, and so she's looking at, from what they're saying, what she's being charged with. She's going to get, and I'm assuming this is with, telling on her fellow officers.
Cooperation. Yeah.
Yeah, cooperation, less than 5 years.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, they're already saying that she's going to plead guilty to the charges that she's facing. So again, this is a situation where we can finally get justice for Breonna Taylor in some sense. There's no way we can bring her back,
Right.
which is sad, which is ultimately the sad part, that we can't bring
Hmm.
her back, bring her life back. But officers need to be held accountable for their recklessness and the things that they do. And most times they are not held accountable for the things that they do, especially when it's wrong. So I'm just glad to see that the DOJ has stepped in and are going to try to hold these officers accountable for the things that they did.
I agree. I agree, and I'm really praying for the Taylor family, hoping that they get
Hmm.
some closure, some justified closure on this, and the ones who were guilty of doing this, they get
Hmm.
served the justice
Right.
that they deserve. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? This is a long time coming. So Pete, let me ask you this:
Yes, sir.
what sparked this reopening? What happened? Did somebody drop a tip? I mean, did
Well, the family asked the DOJ to get involved.
so they never
Her
stopped.
family.
They
Yeah,
never
yeah.
stopped working on this case, even though it was closed. They kept pushing the
Well, yeah. Well, the family, they reached out to the Department of Justice, which you
Mhm.
have every right to. So they
True.
reached out, and so they wanted them to, go in and do their own research and do their own investigation. And guess what? When you
Mm.
have an organization who's not playing favorites, or trying to stay on the side of the police, and this, that, and the third,
They
it's
just trying to
just,
get the facts.
yeah, 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 it's just trying to get the facts. I mean, this is the stuff that we find out. So again, her family did not rest on what the Attorney General of Kentucky
Thank
said,
God.
Daniel Cameron. They did their due diligence, and this is where we are now, with 4 officers being charged with civil rights violations,
Well, I
and
hope
and
the lady
other
cop. Go ahead.
and like I said, and also falsifying search warrant. So
Well, I hope the lady cop does come through with her confession. If I heard you right, she said she's going to. So I hope she
yeah,
follows through with
that's
that.
mm-hmm,
And then, with that being done, that's cut and dry. You know what I'm saying? If
yeah,
she's the first up at bat and she hits a home run, meaning she tells it all, yeah, she's
right,
gonna get a lighter sentence. She'll probably do 16, 18 months.
right,
And the rest of them are gonna see some real time because now
mm-hmm,
they got somebody on the inside who's testifying like, yeah, this is
mm-hmm,
what happened. We
right,
falsified information or they did falsify information.
mm-hmm,
I will attest to that.
right,
That's not going to be a good look for the other three.
mm-hmm,
And they
yeah,
they not really going to have a leg to stand on after that because
right,
she was one of them.
exactly,
You know what I'm saying? She was
exactly,
in on it. She was in on it.
mm-hmm,
There's nothing else you could say or do. She was in on it. And now she's
yeah,
the first up at bat. And if she hits this home run, then it's game over for the other three, which is, like I said, that goes back to their eagerness and their power and their
mm-hmm,
greed and their ego to want to nail this guy to the wall so bad that they just negated proper protocol
mm-hmm,
so
yeah,
they can do what they want. But this is nationwide, man. I'm not saying all cops are like this, but a lot of them are. They'll do whatever
Mm-hmm.
to satisfy what they think is right instead
Mm-hmm.
of, just following the facts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just, I mean, it was so bad as far as what the DOJ has uncovered. It even said Hankinson said he was the one that went around to the back of the apartment
Mm-hmm.
and just blindly
Just started popping.
unloading his firearm blindly into the back of the apartment building. I mean, what are we doing? I mean, it's absolutely crazy.
That's
But
evil.
yeah, some of the things that are being shown now that the information that the DOJ is releasing, it's crazy.
Now I wonder if this is going to shed light on that police department. Like if they did this on a warrant, how many other warrants did they?
Oh, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it only takes one, and then they
To
start
start
peeling.
peeling back
They
the
start, yeah,
onion.
yeah, they
Yeah.
start peeling the onion, and then
Everybody
so
start crying.
exactly. So we'll see how this goes with now with the DOJ
Mm-hmm.
having it under its purview. We'll see how it goes from here.
Yeah, indeed. Like I said, prayers to the Taylor family. I really hope they
Mm-hmm.
get the justice that they so truly deserve, man. I know,
Yep.
like you said, Pete, I know it doesn't bring her back, but at least to
Right.
have closure on a positive note will allow them to start healing and
Yeah.
finding a way to, move forward in life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
We cannot let Breonna die in vain. Her death has to be justified, and it has to be corrected.
Right.
The actions have to be corrected. All right, Pete, let's jump into the next topic. Let's talk about your boy 45.
Don't
Uh
don't be saying no your boy to me. Nah, pimping. That ain't
your
how it
man
works.
45 is wilding. Okay, so we're
Yeah.
talking about the former disgraced president Donald J. Trump. How someone from the inside, his sacred circle, tipped off the feds about some potential, I shouldn't say potential, but for some, documentation that he took from the White House that could be catastrophic to our nation's security.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is, like I was telling, my daughter, I said, when the feds come into the picture, trust and believe they got some solid intel.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They have some solid intel. So whoever that was on the inside gave them some really solid information like, yo, this guy has got information that could cripple the nation and the nation's security.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like I said, of course, they won't be able to tell us what specifically they found because it's classified information. But if you will remember, recently, he's had visitors to Mar-a-Lago from China, from Saudi, and other places. So I mean, now it you can only speculate. It's not a definite, but you can only speculate. Why is he meeting with these leaders of these countries? And you have all this sacred U.S. documentation
Mm-hmm.
that could really cripple the nation and
Mm-hmm.
our security. Why are you meeting with these guys? What is your intent?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because it's
Right.
like we all know, those of us who are rational and logical, we all know that this man is power hungry. To call the election a scam, a fake, it didn't really happen. He didn't really
Mm-hmm.
lose.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he is a dictator in the truest sense. I mean,
Right.
he is really frazzled in the mind, if you ask me. And meeting with these higher ups from these different countries, and you got all this information in your home about the nation and
Mm-hmm.
our security, it just makes you wonder. I mean, your mind can go in a million different places as to why he's having these meetings. Like, if the U.S. doesn't play ball with me, then I'll sell this information or I'll give
Mm-hmm.
this information, you know what I'm saying? Or, whatever. Again, this is all speculation on my behalf. But it does make you wonder, why did he take this stuff in the first place? Because if I'm not mistaken, I think he was made aware that he wasn't supposed to take some of that stuff.
Of
And
course.
then
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
recent information comes back saying he did have,
Mm-hmm.
very sensitive information.
Mm-hmm.
that was not supposed to be taken. Why is it that all the presidents since the beginning of time know the rules and abide by them, but he feels like he's different, like he don't have to leave the documentation, at
Mm.
the White House, or
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy, man. And this dude is, to me, is certifiable. He's out there, and he is power hungry. He's had a taste of the presidency, and I think he's drunk with that power, and he wants it bad, because even though we know the House and the Senate have the power, no one person or group has all the power. That's why when they crafted the Declaration of Independence, they made sure that the power was not all in one person or one entity. The power
Mm-hmm.
was equally, shared and divided to keep a balance, so
Mm-hmm.
that you don't have a Hitler, or you don't have a, um, I can't think of the other guy, but yeah, so that you don't have a dictator who
Mm-hmm.
just turns greedy and evil and starts to just ravage the doggone nation. And
Mm-hmm.
so, I'm glad I think he was in New York recently to testify, and
Mm-hmm.
all he gave was, "I plead the fifth," or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad that this is being done. I'm glad that certain people are waking up and realizing that this guy is on another level, and it's not good for the country. Uh, and he has stirred up his base, and you've got people out here that have been wanting for a while another civil war, because they
Mm-hmm.
can't wait to, quote unquote, purge the country. You know what I mean? And it's scary, but at the same time, I saw a statistic on the news. They were saying that half the country is ready to take up arms against the government. I don't believe that. I really don't. I don't think there's that many people out there that are willing to do that against the government. I really don't. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
The news is great with sometimes using scare tactics on people, but I really feel like, I don't know how, but 45 needs to be brought into check. I don't even know how that's going to happen, because he surrounds himself around the people that he wants to, that are yes men, and he has his will done. However, and the scary thing is that you have people in the nation that follow his every word, and like, it's like he's God, or his word is Bible, and what he says, that's what it is. It's like no research is being done by folks. No people are cross-referencing information.
Mm-hmm.
They're just, whatever he says, that's what they're going.
Hold on. Does that remind now? If you are a believer of Christianity, and you read the Bible, and you believe what the Bible says, I mean, because everybody that may listen to this may not believe that. That's why I'm
Indeed.
prefacing this. All what you just said. What in biblical terms? Who was that? Who does the Bible remind you, say that person is? How you just described him?
Hmm.
Who does the Bible say that is?
Oh, you put me on the spot. Um,
Starts with a A.
Starts with an A. Okay. Come on, Pete, help me out. I drew a
Uh,
blank. My
anti
apologies.
anti who?
Antichrist.
But
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
That's what I said. If that's how you believe, you don't have
Sounds like the
because
Antichrist. Okay.
if you
Right.
follow blind followers,
Mm.
they listen to everything. Okay, but anyway, I digress. Um, but let's get back to the meat of what's really going on.
Hmm.
Okay, this guy takes very sensitive classified information from the White House
Hmm.
to his home in
Yes.
Mar-a-Lago, which is on its face illegal, which is
Right.
a crime.
That's it. Hmm.
Immediately when he took those documents off of
Off the property of the
off
White
the
House.
property
Yeah.
of the White House, that's a felony off the
That's right.
rip, off the
Hmm.
rip. Okay, I guess by him being the president, they don't want to, you know, DOJ doesn't want to look like, they're going after him because of course he's the president.
Hmm.
And they're going to give him a little bit more leeway than they would do us, because they would just kick our door in and arrest us for one document. If it was,
If it was
highly classified.
Obama.
Yeah. If it was highly classified.
Ooh.
One
Yeah.
one document.
Mm-hmm.
They would have kicked down the door, that we'd have been locked up and we'd be in federal prison right now. But he's the president. So, we're gonna try to, treat this with kid gloves. So he's had these documents for 18 months. They're going back and forth with him. We need our stuff back. No, I ain't gonna give it to you. Bro, we need our stuff back. Nah, I ain't gonna give it to you. Bro, now come on now. We need our stuff back. Nah, y'all can't have it. So they subpoenaed him in June. Went up in his spot in June, which a lot of people didn't know.
Right. That's right. Because everybody thinks this is the first time.
Yeah. So you had all of these Republicans talking about, well, he didn't have, first story, he didn't have it. Then second story, well, why didn't they subpoena him before? Then they come out and said, no, we did subpoena him, and we did get some stuff in June. We got some stuff, and and we feel that he didn't give us all the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So now the story is, well, it was declassified. Hold on, now y'all done changed your story 3 times. Now you done changed your story 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
It went from he didn't have nothing.
Right.
Why didn't you subpoena him? You was wrong because you didn't say, okay, we did subpoena him in June. But now that they've gone in and they've gotten these other documents from Mar-a-Lago, now the story is, well, they were declassified. Look, man, get a line stick. And so now they have these documents, and come to find out that there's some nuclear sensitive things that's in these documents, and things of trying to out the French prime minister, France's prime minister. And it's a whole treasure trove of information that he could sell to other countries.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they ran up in his spot, because they know who he is, and they know what he's about. And he would sell the Saudis information about the United States like it's nothing. He would sell information to other rogue countries like it's nothing if it profits him.
If it profits him, yeah.
Exactly.
Correct.
And then now there's a lot of questions going on now. How did Jared get that $2 billion from the Saudis?
Mm-hmm.
They just cut him a $2 billion check. Just because it was Tuesday. I mean, why'd you cut that man a $2 billion check?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now we have to start looking at things.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, your mind starts to wonder. You're trying to put dots together.
Yeah. So now, he just had that live tournament up there at his course up there in New Jersey, where it was, the high brass of the Saudi Arabian government at this tournament
was there. Yeah.
Was there.
Mm-hmm.
They were there with him.
Mm-hmm.
How did he get that tournament? Because Live just started. They just started the Live tournament.
Yes, and it's already controversy. Not to make a quick left on people, but
now the Live tournament is a Saudi Arabian.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of Americans are pissed, especially the PGA. A lot of people in the PGA and of the PGA are pissed that a lot of players are going to the LIV tour because it's backed by the Saudis, which a lot of Americans believe that they are responsible for the death of that reporter. He was a Saudi reporter.
Khashoggi. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then of course not their ties with 9/11.
Right. And then there's inhumane practices to people, things of that nature.
Right.
I personally don't know how much of that is really true and really not true, but a lot of us that watch the media tend to take it as the Bible, which we really should not do. But nonetheless, you're right. The high brass was there at the LIV tournament at his golf course or
Mhm.
whatever, and a lot of people were upset about that. But my thing is, why does he still have supporters when they have on record about him really talking trash about the Saudis and what they've done? But now he's schmoozing with them at this LIV tournament. Tournament,
Well,
excuse me.
well, well, again, Chad, it's not about rational thought when
True.
it
Yeah,
comes
you're right. When it comes to him.
when it comes to his supporters. It's not about rational thought.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's about let's be 100. It's about first. It's about the racism and
Mm-hmm.
how he, you know what I'm saying, that's first off, and then he said a lot of things that those his supporters have wanted to say, but
Mm-hmm.
they had to keep it under wraps, and now they had
Because it wasn't
somebody.
popular.
Exactly. Now they had somebody in the White House that spoke like them and wanted to speak. So, they'll die for it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Literally, because we just had a gentleman last week run up in the FBI in Cincinnati, and now he dead. So I
Right. I'm
mean,
like,
and
what was he
yeah, yeah,
thinking? He
yeah.
ran up in the belly of the
So now
beast.
so they're proving that, they'll die for it. They'll die for it. They'll run up into the Capitol. We don't care nothing about the government. We'll run up in the Capitol for him. Again, what does that sound like?
Exactly.
Okay, so it's a situation where at some point he has to be held accountable. He has
Right.
to be held accountable because if not, and somehow he gets elected again and he gets the presidency, it's a wrap
It's
for
yeah, I was about to say
democracy.
it's yeah,
It's over
it's a
for
wrap.
because he has all the Republicans in his pocket.
And
I
he'll have
mean,
the military.
and I mean, they were so gung ho to support this dude that you put your credibility on the line. Because when
Hmm.
when it first started, all the Republicans were like, this is a travesty.
He's a quack. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah, no, no. I'm talking about the FBI when they raided him.
Oh,
No,
oh,
when
okay.
excuse me, they didn't raid. Let's take raid out of this because it was not a raid. It was a legally um a legal search warrant.
Hmm. He knew it was
So
coming.
it, so they no, he didn't know it was coming,
Oh, you
but
talking about which? Oh, you
I'm talking
okay?
about them
Okay.
going into Mar-a-Lago.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
not.
Yep.
It was
Yep.
yeah. It wasn't a raid. It was a
A legal
search
search
warrant.
warrant.
It
Yep.
was search warrant that was done legally,
Hmm.
done the correct way. The judge signed off on it. DOJ, Merrick Garland signed off on it. So it was done the legal way. So it wasn't a raid of any. It was a legally done search warrant. So again, he has all of this highly classified, sensitive information at a place with no security. Okay, what are we doing? What are we doing? And then on top of that, I mean, you have people in his inner circle that basically told on him. Somebody had to tell on him.
Right. Somebody. Yeah.
So you have a lot of back and forth with people that don't trust him, and he can't be trusted. So okay, it's sad that we are like this with this person. I mean, you talk about somebody that was bad for this country, and that's why now countries are laughing at us.
Hmm.
That was your president. This guy.
What they say in Black Panther? Is this your king?
Is this your king? Yeah, exactly. Now you have countries
Is
laughing
this
at
your
the
king? Yeah,
that
man.
you elected this person to be the leader of the free world. Your country picked that guy.
But you know what? This ain't the first time we've done this as Americans. Look at Reagan.
Yeah,
Reagan was an actor.
yeah, yeah. But
Reagan
it's
was an
just
actor.
yeah. It just it's so sad that we're in this position right now that you have a gentleman who, well, I ain't even gonna call him a gentleman,
I was about to say that's what you call him.
a guy that is so narcissistic
Mm-hmm.
and so power hungry, and you have to kiss the ring that he felt bold enough and that he could just take these documents out of the White House. I'm just gonna take them home with me. You didn't study them when you was in the White House. So what you want them for?
Damn sure didn't.
So why do you want them now? To sell them to?
Right, I was about to say because they can benefit him.
Exactly. Yeah. They can benefit him. He doesn't care about what goes on with this country as long as it benefits him at the end of the day. And it's really sad that you have people actually trying to fight for him when he wouldn't, as folk would say, if you was on fire, he wouldn't piss on you. If
he wouldn't even spit on you. Yeah.
If you was on fire, he could care less about you. But yet still, you're gonna lose your life for this dude. You gonna take up arms, and now Chad, now a few months ago, when black folk was talking about defunding the police, and you know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you touched on that.
Defunding the police, all of these Republicans and these folk was like, how dare you? We back the blue. The police are the best, and we back the police. And then
Marjorie Taylor Greene, what she tweet out there?
They do a search warrant.
Defund the FBI.
So basically, all that what you were talking about was bull.
No. Let me correct you. It wasn't bull. They back the blue as long as the blue is on their side, or they feel like the blue is on their side. Now, once they feel betrayed, then it's like NWA. It's like F the police.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah.
As long as they killing black folks and doing everything that they feel like is okay, then they back the blue. The blue is solid with them.
Right.
But then when the blue grows a conscience and say, we need to be on the up and up. We can't have a bias. We got to follow the facts, and wherever the facts lead, that's what we do. Oh, now all of a sudden it's defund the FBI and the police are this, and then look how they did this person and led him out in handcuffs and raided the house. I said, how you think we feel? See, it's okay when it's done to other folks.
Right, exactly.
It's okay. The police did their job. There was nothing wrong. They followed the book. But when their friends get let out in handcuffs, or the senators and governors, their homes get raided at 5 a.m. in the morning on a Tuesday morning, then their fellow friends, governors, come out and say that was a travesty. Why would they do that? That was disgusting. And how could you go to somebody's home and lead them out like that?
And look, and then you find out this dude got all this information. Then you like, okay, now I done put my neck out there for him, and now they really got the goods on him. Now what do? Now I'm going to try to use every excuse in the book that it was. But back to now you want to defund the FBI. Why?
Yeah.
I thought you backed the blue.
Right.
I thought you backed the blue. Now that's what you said when black folks were talking about defunding the police, and all of a sudden now all of a sudden you want to defund what? It's not
defund the FBI. I said, oh,
you're not making sense. You're not making and see now you out here looking foolish, flailing in the wind because they ran up in the spot and they got the goods. They got the goods that they were looking for. They got it.
Yeah.
So now what?
It wasn't a lie.
Exactly.
They confirmed.
So, So now you've done all this on the front end, talking about it's a travesty and there's no way that he got this and got that. Now he has it. Now what? Now, I saw one yesterday, Chad. Now Rand Paul from Kentucky, the great state of Kentucky, now he wants to abolish the Espionage Act. Because that's what there is one of the charges when we found out what was on the search warrant was they're looking to charge him with espionage and just a laundry list of things. And now Rand Paul was like, well, we need to, that's something from World War I, and we should abolish the espionage. Now you want to abolish stuff. Now you want to abolish laws that's been on the books for many years. Now to appease
when it's used against you, yeah.
When it's against you, now all of a sudden now you want to abolish laws and all of that. I'm like, Please stop it. But all I want, Chad, is I need him to be held accountable for once.
Same here. Same
For
here.
once.
And part of me feels like I'm torn, Pete, because part of me feels like that man's a billionaire. There's nothing gonna happen to me. And I still don't believe he's a billionaire, but they
He's
say
not.
he's a billionaire. So
He's not.
yeah,
He's
there's
not.
no way.
He's not.
But then the other half of me is like, this is a new level of low in the United States that we have not seen, at least not in a long time. I mean, he's even pissed off some highly white folks. So when you said being held accountable, half of me believes that he will, and the other half is like, nah, they're not gonna touch him.
Nah.
But I really feel like, because if he does not get held accountable, in the famous words of Bernie Mac in Players Club, gonna be trouble.
Yeah,
it's gonna be trouble.
that's what I'm saying. So
It's gonna be trouble. I'm telling you, it's gonna be trouble.
Yeah, so I mean, he has to be held accountable, or he should be held accountable. We'll see if he is or not, if that happens. But again, you can't you can't just push this under the rug, Chad.
It's too far out there. There's no turning back.
There's no turning back. This dude has had, and maybe still has some stuff.
How we know he ain't made copies?
Exactly. Of information that could cripple this nation.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, and now from a report I read last night, they have video. Not only did they run up in the spot, they subpoenaed and confiscated the video from Trump Tower, Mar-a-Lago. So now they have the people where the documents were being stored. They have, from what the report said, they on the video they see them moving those documents to different areas and different places and leaving the property. And so now Trump Tower has to come into play. Bedminster up there in New Jersey has to come into play now.
Mm-hmm. Because he started out his presidency at Trump Towers, and that was the first.
Because if you're moving documents, and we see you visibly moving documents, you could have took those documents to other places, other properties that you own. They have, from what the article said, that they have people. They had on the video the people that went into those rooms where they were supposed to be held. So we may have some senators and some cats from the House of Representatives, or foreign leaders.
And see, a lot of them are nervous about this because they're like, Trump might have some stuff on me somewhere.
Yeah. So
because I mean that's how he dangles his power. It's like J. Edgar Hoover when he took over the FBI. He spied on everybody. That was his leverage. He may not have been rich as far as money, but if I got some stuff on you, I can be the puppet master. I can make everything happen, because if you don't, this might actually leak out into the public and devastate you. And now you got a lot of Republicans. If you notice, a lot of Republicans are not running for re-election. A lot of them in the House and the Senate are not running for re-election. They're like, yeah, you know what? You can have it. We're done. We're gonna sit down.
Right.
So a lot of them is nervous, man, because they don't know what Trump has.
Yeah, and so for me, it's just you have to hold this guy accountable for this. You have to.
Yep.
I mean, and if you don't, he runs again, he wins, it's a wrap.
It's a done deal. It's a done deal.
It's a wrap. So I mean, So of course we will all be watching to see what Merrick Garland does. Will he make him do the perp walk, or will he let him off?
Well, so far, Merrick Garland, and that's that's Trump's boy. Trump put him in office in that position, if I'm not mistaken.
No. Christopher Wray, the FBI director.
It wasn't Merrick Garland?
No. Biden put him in office. Okay. Put him, he chose him to be the AG.
Okay.
So but the Christopher Wray, who's over the FBI. Now that was a Trump guy.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Christopher
I got
Wray,
it mixed up.
the
Okay.
FBI. Yeah, he's the Trump guy that signed off on it. Merrick Garland signed off on it. So yeah, this guy needs to be held accountable. And we're in a really sticky situation because we have a guy who had and maybe possibly still have classified information that he can sell to countries for his own benefit. And one more thing, Chad, before we move on, what they need to do, and I ain't trying to be disrespectful, but what they need to do is go find out how Ivana died, how she fell down them steps, and they need to find out what's up in that coffin, because from what I heard, she was cremated. What you need a coffin for if she was cremated?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah,
what you taking to the grave? What you having her take to the grave?
You put a casket in the ground, but this woman was cremated.
That don't add up.
Then you got 10, 15 dudes carrying this casket out to the well, it ain't a cemetery. Well, it's considered a cemetery now, but out here off the 18th fairway. And you just throw this casket in the ground. They need to dig up that casket. I ain't trying to be disrespectful.
No, I understand.
But they need to dig up that casket because
and see what's in there.
What's in that casket? Now, if they come to open that thing up and it's her ashes, okay, it is what it is. We'll put it right.
Put it back to rest.
We'll put it back to rest. But yeah, I need to know what's in that casket since she was cremated. I mean,
get down the steps and died, huh?
Oh, so she just then walked up them steps 1,000 times, and this day she, God rest her soul. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
What if she knew something? Oh, I digress.
Yeah.
All right. like your boy Arsenio, things that make you say,
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
For sure.
All right, man. Well, we will move on to the Black Inventor of the Week, and it's going to be short and quick. His name is George Edward Alcorn Jr., born March 22nd, 1940. And he's still around with us today, thank God. George Edward Alcorn Jr. is a physicist whose work in the aerospace industry helped revolutionize astrophysics and semiconductor manufacturing. He is credited with 20 inventions, 8 of which he received patents for. Perhaps his best-known innovation is for an X-ray spectrometer used to analyze distant galaxies and other deep space phenomena. Okay, this brother is heavy. Okay.
Wow.
Which he patented in 1984, the X-ray spectrometer. Alcorn's research into plasma etching, for which he received a patent in 1989, is still used in production of computer chips, also known as semiconductors.
Okay.
George Edward Alcorn Jr. My man.
Hey. As I say every podcast, man, we are great, man. We are a great people, boy. I'm trying to tell you, this world does not revolve without us, man.
You're right. It don't move. It don't revolve without us. You're right. You're exactly right. Man. You are exactly right. All right. We will move on to the the book of the week. Excuse me. The book of the week. And the name of it is called Defining Moments in Black, and the word black is marked out. So Defining Moments in Black History, Reading Between the Lies, Lies, not lines, Reading Between the Lies, by my man Dick Gregory, the late great Dick Gregory, let me add. And in this collection of thoughtful, provocative essays, Gregory charts the complex and often obscured history of the African American experience. In his unapologetically candid voice, he moves from African ancestry and surviving the Middle Passage to the enjoyment of bacon and everything pig, the headline-making shootings of Black men, and the Black Lives Matter movement. A captivating journey through time, Defining Moments in Black History explores historical movements such as the Great Migration and the Harlem Renaissance, as well as cultural touchstones such as Sidney Poitier winning the Best Actor Oscar for Lilies in the Field and Billie Holiday releasing Strange Fruit. So, an engaging look at Black life that offers insightful commentary on the intricate history of African American people. Defining Moments in Black History is an essential, no holds bar history lesson that will provoke, enlighten, and entertain.
Oh,
So,
the
again, the
late
name of the
great
book,
Gregory.
yes, sir. Again, the name of the book is Defining Moments in Black History, Reading Between the Lies, Lies. Again, by the late, great Dick Gregory. So, a must read, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to teach our history. We have to
Nope.
teach ourselves.
Yep.
And I want to give a shout out to my sister Viola Davis for that upcoming movie, September 16th. Pete, I don't know if you heard about it, A Woman King, The Woman King.
I wouldn't do that, sir. I wouldn't do that. For those people, let me put a little bug in your ear. For those
Okay.
people who plan to watch that movie, please do your due diligence and research the tribe that she is from. And I'm just gonna leave it at that.
The homie.
Yeah. Just research the tribe that she was a part of, and then you tell me how excited you're going to be to watch this movie. Yes. Something, just a little words of wisdom. Just do your research, and then do your research on who made this film.
Well, my understanding is she had a lot to do with it. She her and her
Mm.
husband put some money into it. I'm not saying they're the only ones.
They may have put some money behind it, or whatever the case may be. But all I'm saying is research who made this film, and research the tribe that this film is being made about. That's all I'm going to say. And just do your due diligence. Don't let Hollywood make the strong Black woman. Don't let them put you. That's all I'm going to say. Do your due diligence.
Wow, we're gonna have to chat offline. Okay.
Yeah. We're gonna have to chat, and that's fine. I'm big up the movie, Chad. I get what you're saying from the perspective of this strong Black woman. Don't do your research. Do your research. That's all I'm saying.
Don't. Okay.
Yeah. Just do your research. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying before you get excited. And it may be a very well crafted movie. It very well may be, but it's some things behind it that just not. They're just not real good. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't want and not to down what you were saying, Chad, about the excitement of the movie, because we see a strong Black woman doing X, Y, and Z, but it's something behind that's not really good. But anyway, I digress.
Damn. Michael Jackson said, "We can't win."
Hate to put that Florida Evans on you, but
Jesus. All right. Well, let that be what it is, folks. Do your research, like Pete said. Do your research. But and last but not not last, but I do want to give you the Bible quote of the week, and it comes from 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9, and it reads, "Every weakness you have is an opportunity for God to show his strength in your life. Don't forget, when you are weak, he is strong. You have to lean on him. So every weakness you have is an opportunity for God to show his strength in your life." 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. Just something to meditate on. Just think about that. Just think about that. And now, last but not least, we will leave you with the quote from my brother, the late, great Marcus Garvey. And I quote, "Never forget that intelligence rules the world and ignorance carries the burden. Therefore, remove yourself as far as possible from the ignorance and seek as far as possible to be intelligent."
There it is.
All right.
It is.
Pete, anything else before we sign off, man?
As always, man. Love yourself, love your people, man. Tell your folk that you love them. Protect yourself at all times. Protect your people at all times, man. That's it.
Indeed, indeed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for another edition of Our Voice 360. Our perspectives, our ways. Be blessed, be safe, and we are out.
Peace.